welcome to the United States Paranormal Podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden J, hanging out with
the Rocker Chick
and
J-Dub.
You know, if you watched last week's video, J-Dub had the spirit fingers going on.
I can actually do it now.
I know, I'm so excited for you. The cast is off, the extra brace is off, but you still rock the picture. I did show you the picture, right?
No.
Son of a bitch. Remind me to show you the picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, remember to show me the picture.
The pictures we are working on getting them up on the website. There are a few. I think the Call Guys pictures are up, Golden Image podcast is up, and A Quarter Books of Moose is up. So,
why are we the last one?
Because, you know, they always save the most important for last.
That is true.
Gotcha.
And there you have it. We are the most important.
The best for last.
The best in the Golden Mojo family. Suck it, Colton. I'm kidding. Colton, I love you. It's a rocker chick that has issues with you.
No, it's not. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
She was just talking.
Don't get me involved in your
She was just talking
crap.
shit about you a little bit ago
was
before
not.
we went on air.
You're such a liar.
Nobody likes a liar.
Listen, go check out the Call Guys. They're great. We love the Call Guys.
Yes,
They do an amazing job. As do all the other Golden Mojo Entertainment podcasts. Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs fans.
Quarter
Golden
books and
Ladies.
boobs.
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 Did you say boobs?
Oh,
Quarter books
booze.
and boobs.
I've been drinking too much booze. I wish.
And Murd Nerds, who are still on hiatus. I did talk to Phil last night. We are getting ready to gear up to bring back the Indiana Chiefs fans starting in... what was that?
Jen farted. J-Dub farted.
She's a Bears fan, people. Yeah, they're all a little... most Bears fans are just a little hateful these days, and rightfully so. Their team is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I know.
And none of them disagree when I say that.
I'm not jumping bandwagon.
Come on
No,
over.
stick with your team
Come
through
on over,
thick
be a
and
Chiefs
thin.
fan.
No.
It'll be okay.
Negative there, Nancy.
Stick with your team. We stuck with ours for 25 years without winning nothing.
What's funny is my husband and my stepson were in Indy for the state fair last year, and they found this toilet paper roll, and it has a poop emoji on it, and it says, for when the Bears play like...
Oh.
Yeah, so it's in the camper. So it's cute.
I love it. I love it when you get the everyday essential items like that with the team logos and stuff on it. It's always fun. I think we have
a Kansas City Chiefs paper towel.
Yeah.
At the camper that's never been opened.
It's one of those you walk into Walmart and you're like, I gotta have some of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you never use it, but. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining me today on the United States Paranormal. I want to thank all of our listeners. You guys have been coming through lately. I can tell by the streams and the watches on YouTube. And, thank you guys so much. And I also want to thank the listeners for the emails. That's right, Call Guys. Woo! United States Paranormal is getting emails.
Woohoo! Yeah.
You know what happens when we get emails? We get stories like we had last week, which was an amazing, sit down and talk with Peter and talking about UFOs and Bigfoot, and wow, what a great story, and I enjoyed that so much. So
it was good.
Did you go back and listen to it?
I was there.
I lived it. But our good friend ISOCAM emailed us about the question of the day, one of the questions we did, about the worst superpower. Mm-hmm. And he says that super hearing. He'd rather not hear parents and grandparents if you're lucky,
Ugh.
getting it on.
Gross. Yeah, no thanks.
I would tend to agree with him. I don't think that that's something that I wanted to know about in the other room.
No.
Agree. Yeah.
Yeah. He said he also had a creepy dream the other night. He was in the kitchen with his mom, and next to the stairs there's a window cut out at the top of the stairs. And he said it was just feet dangling from below the window, like someone had hung themselves. And he said, I started getting sucked towards the feet, literally. It's Emperor Palpatine's old soggy feet with the cloak and everything. And he says he hasn't looked at that window since.
Dreams, I tell
Gross.
you. They freak you out sometimes.
So I replied to him and I said, I said that I had mixed feelings on it. Then feel like he wanted you to suck on those soggy toes.
Yeah, thing with sucking on toes.
Honestly, he might have wanted me to. Who wouldn't want to make Palpatine's toes even soggier than they already are? So, buddy, thank you so much. I appreciate the email. I love the back and forth. It's pretty great.
I didn't tell you this, but after we had our podcast with Peter, I had a dream that night.
Was it about Peter?
No.
Oh.
You know the movie Signs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where the noise that they make, that
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like that. I was dead asleep, and I swear to God I heard that. And all I remember is I grabbed the blankets and I yelled, "No!" and I covered my head. Because I swear it woke me up. I heard it. And I just was like, "No!"
Your dog was looking at itself in the corner or something. And it sounded like it.
No, I have a fan, and it tilts back and it clicks.
Yep.
Like that, and I think her big butt hit it and it clicked, and I was like, "Nope."
Any more spooky things happen at the house?
No,
No?
not yet.
Huh.
But at the hospital, I kept hearing footsteps walking around the dock today.
Really?
Like somebody was legit walking around in there.
Damn. See,
You're not there long enough.
I know. I need to not spend any more time there. I'm just saying. So, do you remember me telling you about Abby? Abby is our Ball State graduate listener that wanted to throw Logan under the bus about not sending stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah. She sent us a novel.
Ah, let's hear it.
Well, I'm going to kind of paraphrase it down a little bit, but she did say that she feels bad. She feels kind of like a turd for asking you to throw Logan under the bus. So, yeah, she feels bad about that. But
It's okay.
she said she wanted to bring to your attention the missed opportunities for the bad puns of the Lemp Mansion episode.
Oh man.
It says, because my brain is broken and cannot think it's and I can't not think in puns. So you missed the opportunity to refer to the Lemp Empire as the Lempire. So, you could have referred to the hauntings at the mansion as the Lempire Strikes Back. And William's illegitimate child would have equals Will legitimate.
Oh my God.
See, maybe you could have done that. I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
Blew right over top of my head. And then finally she says, I have some small spooky related stories of my own. She said they're probably not worth talking about, but I think they were quite interesting. And honestly, Abby, I think J-Dub will like these more than even I did. So,
Well, what are you waiting for?
Tell us.
She said when she was a baby, I guess there were a few times that her parents would find her in her crib just giggling to an empty corner. I guess my cousin, who's about the same age, used to do the same thing. So the theory is that we were laughing at the ghost of our great-grandpa who died before we were born, because I guess he was a pretty funny guy. She said that must be where she gets it from.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay, so here's where it kind of falls into what I thought you would really like.
Okay.
I rode horses for like 10 to 12 years growing up at one point. Oh,
Horses.
Horses? Did you say horses? My trainer owned a barn everyone was pretty sure was haunted. The property itself was about 80 years old and had an old quarter horse track, a main barn, and an addition, a trailer home, and a house. The previous owner of the barn, who had dementia, shot himself in the head in the house in front of one of his employees. After he died, they put the property up for sale, and it was on the market for about 6 months before her trainer bought it, and they moved in. Many, many strange things, little happenings while they were there, and they will require some additional explanation. Because if you're not a horse person, maybe J-Dub can help you out here.
Oh, no.
In the outdoor arena, which is a giant sandbox you could ride horses in,
Correct.
is a pile of wood shavings. Do you use wood shavings for bedding?
Yeah.
They use it for the horses' bedding. And that shit is expensive, so you better believe that my trainer was going to make sure the stuff that came with the barn they were going to use. When we go in there, fill up a wheelbarrows, we'd have to stand with our backs to the far end of the arena where the creepy addition was. Whenever we go there with our backs to the addition, there would be we'd always see a shadow down there out of the corner of our eyes.
Ew.
In addition to the creepy addition, in that creepy addition, this is why Golden Jay doesn't read. I should give these to the rocker chick and let her read them.
Yeah, I've screwed up just as bad as you.
In the hayloft where the dead cats used to be,
Ew.
one of my friends got grabbed on the thigh where there was no one near her, and it later developed into a bruise.
From a dead cat?
No.
Ghost?
I don't know what the dead cat thing had to do with it, but she said that her friend got grabbed on the thigh.
Well, it could have been a dead cat.
But apparently that loft, that's where all the cats went to die.
Oh.
That's what I gathered
Well,
from
my
that.
barn cat likes to go up into the loft, so I can see that.
Yeah. So, yeah, probably comfortable up there. Just kind of kick back and just call it a day.
Yeah.
One day, my mom and trainer were talking about my trainer's plan to sell the property. Developers were foaming at the mouth to get the land. While walking down the barn's main aisle, there was a stereo sitting in a wall-mounted shelf there. When they walked past it, it turned on. They think it was the former owner voicing his displeasure with my trainer's plan to sell.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There was a few times my mom and I were alone and we heard voices like someone out in one of the fields, but again, no one was there. And my favorite / least favorite story comes from one of the people living in the house. Yes, my trainer found people to live in this house. I don't know that anything ever happened in the house, but one day the lady who lived there asked who the old man was that helped with the horses. We did not employ an old man at that time, so we think that she saw the old owner out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Finally, this is my favorite creepy story because to this day I still have no explanation and it scares the shit out of me. I was with one of my friends that rode horses with, and we were tagging along with her mom and brother to pick up her brother's football pads. It was just the two of us in the car, sitting in the back seat, listening to Eminem.
Yeah.
The car was off. No one was in the front seat. The sunroof was open, and the front windows were about half open. We were sitting there, and from the front of the car, a penny flies into the back seat, landing in between us.
Wow.
Yeah.
It came straight back. It came in a straight line. Not like it had been dropped to the sunroof or somebody flung it through the windows. It came straight in a straight line back from the middle of the front half of the car. Like someone in the front had tossed it back there. There is absolutely no goddamn explanation and still isn't. I love
crazy.
it and I hate it. Abby, thank you so much for the email. Thank you so much for the stories. I love them.
Yeah, the penny thing
absolutely
freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But yes, Abby, thank you so much. Love the stories. And for everybody else who's listening, if you want to send us your stories, I'd love to hear them. I'm waiting for Thea to get back with me about her Waverly Hills, because I asked her about making sure we could post her photos in the social media, but we talked about her story, and she said she was at work, but she would be I'm at work, and I'll tell you more when I get home, so I'm waiting for her to get back to me.
Okay.
So there you go, a couple emails from TUSOP listeners. Thank you guys so
Nice.
much. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Let me ask you this. In your opinion, what is the scariest movie you've ever watched?
Scariest movie I've ever watched.
Wow, that's an interesting question, because I don't watch a lot of scary movies. I think the scariest one for me is, and I've talked about this before, is Final Destination. That
Yes.
opening highway scene of the original movie is still something that fucking just gets after me every time I see a log truck. I mean, I get the heebie-jeebies, when
Yeah.
I see it. So that's where I would be. What about you?
I would have to say when I was a kid, it was Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
I never wanted to go into any type of water when I was a kid because I was definitely afraid of being eaten by a shark. Didn't care if it was a lake,
Yeah.
a pond. I was like, no.
I was the same
There's
way.
usually not sharks in a pond, babe.
I don't care. I was a little kid. It still kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Really?
Fish can bite you. I don't care if it's shark or
Yeah.
any kind of fish. But anyways, and now
I don't know. She's become pretty immune to all of it.
yeah, I would think so. And still, I think Poltergeist is still one of my. That just gives me the.
That's a good
But
one.
yep, those would be my two. I think.
All right, J-Dub. What do you got?
Well, the Jaws one is a good one because I was the same way. And even in a deep pool, like if I jump in the deep end of a pool, I'd be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Gotta get out of here. I have a toss-up between two. The toss-up between it is The Fourth Kind, which is supposed to be a true story of this lady whose husband died, and they think that he was researching aliens, and they had abducted him, and then she was having all this shit happen at her house. There's police footage of the ship going over her house and all this shit. It scared the crap out of me. And then the other one is a haunted house story, and it's from the 70s or 80s, and it has George C. Scott in it. And it's called The Changeling.
I've heard of that movie.
And that movie absolutely terrifies me to this day.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
You need to watch it. Because
Why would I want to be terrified to this day?
Watch
Rocker
scary
Chick,
stuff.
you need to watch it.
Okay, I'll remember that. The Changeling.
Yeah. It's not the one with Angelina Jolie. It's the old one.
The old.
It's
You have to watch
good-
the older one because it's
Oh.
better.
It's not even the same movie. It's just
Oh.
the same title.
Okay,
It's really good.
I will check it out.
She will too. Yeah.
And it's crazy. A lot of people have seen it because, I'll be on Facebook or something, and they'll be like, what's the scariest movie or scene from a movie? And I'm always like, I'm not going to tell you. This one. And then I see all these people, oh, my God, yes, that scared the shit out of me. Oh, my God. I hated that movie.
All right. Well, you watch it and you let me know.
Okay, I
I'll
will.
be-
I will do that.
I'll be in the
Yep.
other room.
Yeah,
Maybe.
there's just movies that things stick with you. Like Jaws it's the big ass shark, and Poltergeist is the freaking tree. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you see a tree like that, and it's like, I'm getting away with that tree.
Yeah, no. No thanks.
So, mine is a log truck. So
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
scary ass old man from Poltergeist.
Ew,
He just bad dreams about that guy.
So if the cat comes back evil and you have to re-kill the cat, why would you bury your son in the pet cemetery?
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Doesn't make
No.
any sense. I do have crap. I had them right on the tip of my tongue, and now I do have a question for you, J-Dub.
Uh-oh.
What do you call a
no.
well balanced horse? What do you call a well balanced horse? A stable. I wanted to squeeze that in after every story, and I forgot. But damn it!
Dang.
Damn it! I gotta take
Forgetful
notes.
minds.
It's been a crazy week. It's almost over.
Every week. Every
Yeah.
week's crazy.
Oy.
Well, my work troubles are one day away from being over. Yes.
You think that until the following week.
Until J-Dub gives me more work to do.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I don't remember what the second thing I was going to tell you, but if it comes to me, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
If it's another bad joke.
It's not another bad joke, but I had that one because I know how much she loves horses. So,
True. Yep.
I do.
and I haven't been able to tell her in the last 2 days that I've known this joke. So. I go, I'm not kidding you. I walk into her office and I sit down and I just look at her and she's like, "What?" And I go, "Nothing." Just move on.
Yep.
All right. Well, you ready to get into today's story?
Yeah.
All right. I am going to take you to the south.
The
Where
sales.
it's nice and hot.
Yeah, and there's no smoke in the air.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Canadian wildfires are not burning down there. They're not smoking down there. I'm going to take you down. We're going to talk about Lechuza, the witch owl.
Witch owl.
The witch owl.
All right.
I found this to be kind of interesting, and but I didn't find like a shit ton of stuff on it. So bear with me, guys. I have a few notes here and a couple stories, and we will go from there.
Short and sweet's fine, too.
I like short and sweet.
Yeah. You covered your ass with our listeners' emails, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you did.
Our listeners covered our ass today.
Yours.
Oh, damn it. All right. It is said that Lechuza, or owl, specifically a white owl, is a witch that has taken the form of this owl. But the legend of Lechuza is one giant owl, about 7 feet tall, and the
Damn.
wingspan of 15 feet.
Whoa.
With the face of an old woman on top of the body of an owl.
Ew.
I think owls are beautiful. You just ruined it for me.
Actually, so while I was doing my research, I went and watched some videos of people that thought that these owls were Lechuzas. And they're fucking beautiful. They're beautiful owls. I mean, there wasn't... The fan art was, really kind of hideous with, the face of a woman and the body of an owl with the claws and all this shit. But the videos of the people that think that these little owls are Lechuzas, that because they were just little owls. They were just little owls.
bitty
They were just
owls.
little bitty owls. They were gorgeous, white, just beautiful owls.
Nice.
Owls.
So they're saying in the South that all the white owls are Lechuzas?
They think that they're because they let me finish what
sorry.
I got. According to most variations of the legend, the Lechuza was once a woman who was wronged and now seeks revenge. Sometimes shit,
Always a
shit,
wrong woman, I tell you what.
Isn't
We
that like
seek
all witches?
It's all
They're
women.
scorned.
It's all fucking women. What are you talking about? All women are scorned.
What the hell are you saying?
Sometimes villagers had killed her child. Other times the child was killed by a drunk. And she is known to attack drunkards, mostly drunk men.
Oh, okay, we're okay.
Some other versions of the legend tell that the witch herself was killed by locals and came back to seek revenge.
Okay.
Legends also say that the cry of the Lechuza mimics the cry of a baby or whistles, and then they can lure you outside, and they take you and make you their meal. Sometimes the cry of the Lechuza is said to be an omen of death, and if you hear it, a family member will die.
I'm wearing earplugs.
Some say dreaming of the Lechuza is also an omen of death. Some even say that she comes to kill people so that she can keep her powers. So, I mean, the variations of the legend are kind of all over the place. That's why I said it's like there's not a ton of like people actually running into them, you know, that has any merit to it actually being the owl witch. You know what I mean?
Isn't that
Right.
usually how legends are? It's
Yeah,
just
usually.
people
Yeah,
spreading the.
yeah. That's how cryptids get going.
That's how
mainly.
rumors start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lechuza, they say, is so big that it could actually carry a grown adult in its talons. And it can bring storms and cannot be harmed by a gun.
Wow.
Wow.
So Sean shit up a creek. He can't take his pistol with him.
Right?
In some variations of the legend, the Lechuza only preys on adult men, drunk specifically. But in other, the Lechuza craves the blood of newborn babies and especially unbaptized babies.
That's a broad spectrum.
That's what I said. It's like all over the place. I mean, in this legend, it means this, and in this legend, it means that. It is common to be told, do not whistle 3 times at midnight, for it is an invitation for the Lechuza.
I can't whistle anyway, so I'm good.
And as always, salt can protect against it. You should also curse at it to drive it away. But it could also make her very angry. And the other thing is to keep her away. If you tie a rope in 7 knots and hang it from your door, it'll show respect to Lechuza. You just want to go home and tie a rope in like 7 knots, and
I'm
don't
not scared of her.
You're not?
No.
No, because she likes.
She's not aliens.
How do you know?
I just know. You said
just
she's
know?
a witch.
She is a witch. And she takes the form of this white owl. All right, so I got a couple stories. You guys want to hear a couple stories?
Yes.
Of course.
All right. So there are many stories of sightings of Lechuza. The following is a Nauvoo, Laredo, in 1950s. There was a Lechuza terrorizing the town, and the locals came up with a plan to kill it. It was lured out of the trees by using a child as bait. When the Lechuza attempted to take the child, locals fired on it with guns, but only hit the claws before it flew away.
With the kid?
No, they didn't get to the
Oh.
kid. They just used the kid as bait. Okay. They just put it out there and said, "Na, na, 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 na." I got supper. Supper's on. Do you suppose they rang the bell?
Yeah. I was going to say ding, 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 ding.
They went.
Yeah.
Good
At
thing
midnight.
it's fucking not midnight. Jesus.
Is that like
We're not in the
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice?
South. I
Doesn't-
never see owls.
Doesn't matter.
Not white ones, at least.
Owls hide around here.
It's true.
You have any barn owls?
Yeah.
Are they white?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can I finish my story?
Go ahead,
Yes.
sorry.
So the next day, they went to the house of the lady they believed to be the Lechuza, and she answered the door with a bandaged leg.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
They shot her in the paw.
Jesus God. This is what it's come to. They shot her in the paw. Or the claw.
Or the claw.
They shot her
Or
in the
the
claw.
foot.
The paw claw.
Oh, listeners, I'm so sorry.
The claw.
Oh, that's stable. So yeah, that was in the 1950s. So not that long ago.
No.
But this next one is a story that was found on Reddit from the 90s or early 2000s.
Ooh.
A 9-year-old living in San Antonio, Texas, in between two little towns called Von Alma and Lyle, was at home alone watching SpongeBob. Okay. The sun had just set and it was a full moon. The child heard a noise outside and thought it was their dad coming home from work and naturally went outside, excited to greet her dad. Or their dad, sorry. It doesn't say her or him. It says there. However, their dad was not there. Instead, it was a massive owl. It was sitting on a picnic table across the street and looking right at them. The massive bird was jet black. It stared for another 15 minutes, but then left when the father arrived home. The kid told their grandmother about this, and she began praying and doing limpieza, a cleaning, with an egg, and told the kids the story of the Lechuza. The kids did not feel fear, however, and wondered if the bird was there to warn them about something. Not much later, there was a giant storm that damaged a lot, except the house and the picnic table where the Lechuza was sitting.
So it can be white or black.
Apparently, yes.
Okay.
Apparently, it doesn't have any specifics. This one was black, but
It was
La
a huge
Lechuza
owl.
is called the white owl, so I don't know. So yeah, there's just a couple stories. What are your feelings on this? I mean, what are your feelings on Lechuza?
She likes drunks.
She does.
Yeah, I think a lot of things are based off of witches, and back in the day, people that did different things were considered witches. I mean, if you were yeah.
Well, I mean,
So,
if you go back to the
There
Salem,
were a lot of people wronged, and they weren't even witches. So I would say that they have every right to come back with a vengeance, and if that's how they come back. And
All these people that eat organic and are holistic and stuff like that, they probably would be considered witches if they,
Yep, back in that
eating
day.
Oh.
the stuff from the, out in the woods and stuff that people normally wouldn't have eaten.
That makes sense. I didn't really think about the whole witch aspect. I was more on the owl and, like I said, that I watched a couple YouTube videos of people that they thought were Lechuzas because of the sounds they were making and how they were just kind of watching and being in more of an open area, whereas you see mostly you see owls and like you said, they hide around here. We don't see them. So
Do you hear them though?
every once in a while,
Not very often. but yeah.
not much anymore. I don't know, because maybe my drunken neighbor doesn't live there anymore, and that's what the Lechuza was zoned in on. There's a thought.
There's a lot.
But, as far as the whole witch aspect of it, witches, yeah, I mean, we know about the Salem witch trials, and we know about all that stuff that supposedly happened back then.
But those were just people that believed in a different thing than what
Yeah.
other people did. They weren't really in the wrong or doing anything wrong. They were just not following the path of everybody else. So
How do they know that doctors weren't witches? Because they were practicing with medicine and stuff like that.
That makes yeah. I mean, especially back in the early days when somebody says I can heal you and they give you a potion. I mean, that's no different than what
Yeah.
they think a witch
Or
would
they're
be.
like, go get this flower and this weed and this berry out of the woods and it'll heal this person. Well, like elderberries.
Uh-huh.
They say that's really good for you. And a lot of people grow them around here and they can them for when you get colds and stuff. So, I mean, that
Right?
are they witches?
Yes. Yes, they are.
Well-
We should burn them at the stake. But yeah, I never really thought about it because when you think witches, you think the Wicked Witch of the
nose.
West or whatever it was.
Right. Well, and that's what they're portrayed as. But if you look back, I mean, and look at the pictures of, back in that day, though they were just normal people. They just believed something different than what they did, Who's to say they actually had powers and were doing bad things? It was just a rumor or whatever,
What powers do witches have? I mean, they brew potions to do. I mean, okay, stereotypically, witches brew potions to do things. Do they have powers?
They can ride on brooms. So they have to have some kind of power, right?
Unless the broom is enchanted, which they've enchanted with a potion. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. My brain is churning right at the moment, and this is what's coming out of my mouth.
I don't know. You look at magicians and stuff like that. I mean, are they warlocks? I mean, because they can do things that most people can't do. And
a lot of people say that David Copperfield sold his soul to the devil to get his powers.
Yeah, I heard that.
So I don't know. I mean, Robert Johnson did. If you've ever watched a documentary on Robert Johnson going to the crossroads and how absolutely fucking horrible of a guitar player that he was prior to his disappearance and then his return as being this, and the recordings that he did, there's no doubt that man sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah. Put his picture in the middle of the crossroads.
Yeah. Just like that.
Just like that.
If you get a chance, people, Netflix has an amazing documentary on Robert Johnson. It's pretty great.
I'll just continue to be an idiot. It's fine.
You don't want to be Robert Johnson, man?
I'm not selling my soul to the devil.
Oh, okay. I thought you didn't want to listen and learn about Robert Johnson.
Oh, no. No. I'll just continue to be me.
You know what? I've often thought that I would sell my soul. And then I found out it wasn't worth much, so I just keep on keeping on. No, I just want to be. I want to be me. I want to be happy. I don't need all that extra, whatever. But I've run across a couple crossroads where I'm thinking this could be the one. I think it has to be a dirt road, doesn't it? Doesn't the crossroads have to be a dirt road?
Well, yeah, because you have to be able to dig in the middle of it.
I bought a fucking jackhammer. I can dig wherever I want to.
Yes, you could. But yes, you have to be able to dig into the road.
Is that what it is? You have to bury your picture?
Yes.
I thought you just went down there and said, hey, didn't you ever see Crossroads with Rob Macchio?
I watched too much Supernatural.
I saw Crossroads with Britney Spears.
It's totally different.
Oh, okay.
You should watch the Ralph Macchio one. It's actually really good. It's about a blues guitar player and a blues harmonicist. No, we're talking about the Crossroads. We're talking about selling our soul. Back up.
Gotcha.
We're back to witches.
Okay.
So yeah, witches. Do they have powers besides the power of flight?
I don't know any witches.
But in history, have you ever heard of them having any powers besides making their brews?
From what I've seen, it's only been in movies, and they always, have like sparkly stuff coming out of their hands when they can throw somebody across the room, like they twitch their fingers or something.
So
I don't know. I wouldn't know.
You're talking about Sabrina.
Yeah.
Right on.
Pretty
the
much.
Teenage Witch.
Not the one you watched. The new one.
I like
the new
one.
version.
No, mine's a porn, I think. Sabrina. All right. Well, I mean, there you go. Like I said, a short and sweet story. I thought it was interesting. It's something that we've been kind of touching on some cryptids and stuff like that lately, and I thought that was just kind of cool. Something I'd never heard of before. So.
Well, it would definitely freak me out to see a white owl that big, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you saw a white owl that was 7 feet tall, I think you ought
Yeah,
to be fucking
it'd
freaked
be like,
out.
oh, that-
Shit my pants.
I wouldn't even say that's an owl. I don't even know what that is, but
And then I shit in my pants. Oh, speaking of cryptids, I do believe that's my second thing I was going to bring up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially submitted for the newest #1 cryptid in the state of Indiana, the great white bald beaver. And you can get your great white bald beaver merchandise at the United States of Paranormal.com. We have tank tops. We have T-shirts.
have you ordered a shirt yet?
I have not. I need to do that. I'm going to get myself a tank top. It is a great piece of artwork. Thank you, Esteban, if you're listening. He did an amazing job, and I'm so happy. And we are going to make the great white bald beaver the #1 cryptid in the state of Indiana.
In 70 years, somebody will be doing a podcast to be like, these are the stories of the great white bald beaver.
I am going to do some research and dig up the story of the great white bald beaver, and I will have it from a future episode. I'm excited. Go check it out. The United States Paranormal.com under the merch store. It's pretty great. I love it. A little shout out to my boy D on the log. It's you can barely see. It's lower and it's out of. But yeah,
DD was here.
DD was here. So, all right. You guys have anything else you want to talk about today?
I don't.
All
I think
right.
we filled this episode with a lot.
There's a lot of different things we talked about today.
There was.
It's almost
Confusion. We like to confuse people.
It's almost a chiller pillar.
It's like bing, 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 bing.
Well, once again, thank you for the emails. Once again, I'd like to thank Peter for last week's episode. It was so much fun to get to meet a listener and talk to him about what's going on out there.
And yeah, we'll have to bring him back on and talk about his experience being a paramedic. And
Yeah.
he said he had quite a few, so that will be an interesting one.
Yeah, we'll definitely get Peter back on. So super excited. We ISO and Abby, thank you for the emails. Thea, I'm still waiting to hear back from you. I'm excited to hear your stories. So, and anybody also wants to email us, the United States of Paranormal @gmail.com.
We know you have stories out there. We know you do.
Love to hear
If you're
stories.
listening to this podcast, you believe. Are you experienced?
Did you just get in your radio voice
I
there?
did. Was it sexy?
Was? It was. What are you doing? There's a hot tub there. What are you doing right now?
That's when I wouldn't want to have super hearing.
Really?
The bubbles block it out.
Okay.
All you gotta do, J-Dub, is go na 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 na, and then it'll be over. You don't have to worry about the super hearing anymore.
I'll just put my earplugs in.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to United States Paranormal. You can find us anywhere that you stream. If you're listening to us right now, you're probably listening to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify. But we're all over the place. You can also check out our YouTube channel. Last week's episode with Peter is actually full video, so you get J-Dub doing jazz hands, and you can see her face when she sees the puppy in the background.
Yeah. It's like, oh, put the dog back there.
So you can go check that out on YouTube. Just type in United States Paranormal. I think it's YouTube at the United States Paranormal. If you like us, then go rate and review us.
Please.
Yes, we need all the love we can get. We got to get back higher into the rankings. We want to be in the top 50.
Oh, yeah.
We're trying. And you guys are coming through. Thank you. The listens are back up again.
Share us with your friends.
Exactly. I was going to come off with tell your friends about us.
Oh, sorry. I beat you to it.
Yeah, so thank you, listeners. So much appreciative. And if you like us, maybe you might like something else. In the Golden Mojo Entertainment family, we have an array of podcasts, from true crime to reviews to pop culture to books.
Books.
Book reviews. So yeah, you got the Call Guys, you got Golden Image Podcast, you got the Indiana Chiefs fans, you have the Golden 80s, you have the Quarter Books and Booze, and you have the Murder Nerds. The Golden Mojo Empire is thriving and doing well, and it's all because of our listeners and our fans, and we thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Come on, nowhere.
Scary.
All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Bye.
To support other Golden Mojo Entertainment productions, check out Golden Image Podcast, The Call Guys, and Murd Nerds wherever you enjoy listening to podcasts. To see photos and find new episodes of the United States of Paranormal, follow us on our social media. Twitter at TUSOPPOD, or Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and Facebook, the United States of Paranormal. If you have a place that you'd like us to look into, or would like to share your spooky story that we can read on the air, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com.